Hello, friends and bees and friends who are also bees. Welcome to this week's Final Fantasy XIV stream. As you can tell, this week I actually remembered to start my music before I started streaming. Incredible. Got there eventually. It took fucking ages, but we got there eventually. Welcome to this week's Final Fantasy XIV. Welcome. I appear to be dropping frames again. I don't know what the issue is, and I don't know how to fix it, so I'm going to sit here and yell. The only thing I can think is that I'm connected to a server that is not helping, but I can't change that now that I've gone live, so I'll talk about with that some other time. Hello, I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you've had a good day. This week in Final Fantasy XIV, we're hopefully going to drop minimal frames and do maximum story. When we left off last week, we had just found out that Yulmore was about to invade the Crystarium, and when we pick up this week, we are just in time for that. As you can see, I did some leveling earlier. I went from just 76 to nearly 77. This is because I am a dedicated person who is good at streaming video games. But seriously, I did some leveling. I tried to sort my retainers out a bit, so I wouldn't be doing that on camera. I intended to do more leveling, and then I just didn't, but I'm on holiday today, so I did some roulettes this morning before I had lunch. Speaking of which, here's some shit that I need to go sell and then never got round to selling. Whoops. Oh well. Let's eat some food. Get on with it. Hopefully this will push me over to 77, and then if I get level locked, it won't matter. Catch me outside pressing F12 rather than, well, lovely weather, just what we needed. Seems battle's already begun in earnest. Make haste. You got it. I remember how to play Dragoon now. It's been like 6 months, but I remember. Crystarian forces are engaging synergies at various locations across Lakeland. Assist them in defeating the Eaters before they are decimated. My shoulder is very itchy. It's dry skin, real dry skin hours over here. So please forgive me if I'm itching my shoulder throughout. Also, my hair is ridiculous, but I did order a shaver. It should be here on Monday. Although I need to go to the supermarket tomorrow, so I'll see if they have one in stock there. But my hair is driving me around the bend. I'm fully aware of how ridiculous it is. I'm just slightly scared of... I might just, like, take some scissors and just, like, beep, 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 beep. Chop all that. To, like, here, maybe? And I can just attack the rest as I see fit. Oh, we'll load in eventually. I'm not sure if my net is having issues or if my computer is having issues, or possibly both. But a lot of things seem to be taking ages to load at the moment. I wish I had anything interesting to say, but I really don't. I hear shouting. Come on.
Let's give it our all.
You got it, mate. My brain is in monk mode where
Help is at hand.
You can start a combo and then pick up elsewhere in the combo and it's fine. Me reminding myself that that's not how Dragoon works. Now, hold on just a moment. Because I absolutely saw a thing trigger there that I was not expecting. Follow, but we cannot neglect those in need of help. Oh, goodness me. Upstairs say thump thump. Quite a dramatic thump thump too. Don't worry, Alfie, I already was. There's never any danger of me, a melee DPS, ever thinking about doing healing. I'll just say maybe a red mage, but, you know. Bad here, I shudder to think what it's like elsewhere. Mr. X. Watch that happen in slow motion. Not this way. This way. I'll lose my stacks again. Yep. It was destined to be. Earth ether swells. Wait to find out what it intends to do next.
I shall protect you.
Thanks, Yoryangé.
You will rue the day you crossed my path.
Toy has a few tricks up her sleeve. I'm missing a lot of the dialogue here because I can't see a fucking thing, but I'm trying. I'm sure. Most impressive trick indeed. Okay, what next? Let's make for the imperative, shall we? I'm gonna drop my stacks again, and it's gonna be... well, not my stacks, I'm gonna drop Dragon Sight again. And it's gonna be really annoying, and then I'm gonna be very sad. Someone have made short work of these eaters. Right. So how much the fuck do I get Ride and Thrust ready? Oh, Thancred's back. F. E. I'll follow the eater. You press on to the imperative. Minfilia says I'm staying with you. We're off this way. I'm going to use Dragon Sight once more, as is my destiny. It is as we feared. All this dramatic fighting noise when fighting clearly isn't happening. But our task, as it ever was, to turn the tide. This is a really messed up... We've got 2 healers and 3 DPS and not a single tank. The lives of the wounded are in our hands. Right. In that case... hurry up and spawn. I'm going to use Dragon Sight. Ugh. Finally.
On your feet.
Spawn. Spawn. There's that time once again where I can't see anything, so I'm just gonna hit my AoE rotation and hope that it's getting somewhere. care, that is no ordinary eater. Okay. Beat up the ads. Yes, I know. I have played dungeons in this expansion before. I guess ride and thrust is if you manage to keep the combo going for a certain while without dropping it, then you get ride and thrust. That seems to be right. And it starts your next combo.
Theory and practice.
I'm gonna let them die. Because I want to sort this motherfucker out. Oh, thump. Just in case you were wondering, that's what the upstairs neighbour says.
My strength is yours.
Fangs.
May the 12 guide you.
Fangs.
The stars shall grant me succor.
Let's give them a show.
I like Aliso the best. Let's give them a show.
We can't steal.
Don't know who that was. It may have been Stola, it may have been Aliso, but either way, you're my favourite. Phew. Just in time for me to drop some frames.
There are so many.
Right, I've worked out what Ride and Thrust is. If you manage to get both your positionals done.
Lena, hold on. They turned on me.
I always find it intriguing how this character's been set as like the villain, even though we have next to no information about them. They're just like a
This one is mine.
Also that Thancred does the dramatic hits when all of the promotional material showed us doing the hits. Hi, Oddbat.
reinforcements are coming, remember? The captain said so. We're going to be all right. Run! Run, damn you! The Warrior of Darkness has returned. The Bloody Knight has returned.
Oh, I forgot about this scene.
What are we doing now? God damn it! Please let this work. Please let this work. No, no, no. Stay back. Stay back. Why did you spare me? Why? What have I done to deserve this mercy?
Forward! Forward! If you can still hold a sword, follow me!
Honey, not Filios. Hi, how are you?
Weapons and ready! Let's make this count!
I hope you're doing well.
Fight and struggle. Seek salvation by your own hands. Though the losses be grave, endure them. Though the victories be hollow, claim them.
Ardbert really does strike me as one of the most genuinely tragic figures of Shadowbringers. I hate the idea of that. Oh no, oh I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, I hate the idea of all your friends pass away and you're the only one left alive, but you're left alive as a ghost, and not because you want to, quite frankly, you would very much rather be anywhere else. But, nope, you're stuck here to watch terrible things happen. Wow. Seems we've driven them back, for the time being at least. The wounded have been collected and are undergoing treatment now. Once they're ready to be moved, we'll have them carried back to the Crystarium. The dead as well, of course. Those whose bodies remain, anyway. The others are helping treat the wounded. I'm planning to assist in moving them, but even so, we simply don't have enough hands. I'm sure we're all fit to fall over after what we've been through. Gods know I am, but if you could see to a few of the patients, it would be an enormous hiccup. Captain Lena is about somewhere, so you might also consider asking her if there are any other outstanding areas of need. We'll talk later. Oh. The honey nut Filios. They are very bad. With tear-filled eyes, the prone man gazes up at you. His fingers twitch as if to reach for you, but he lacks the strength to raise his hand. Bear just a moment longer. Distressed squeaks. Distressed woos. What's intriguing for me is playing this on, playing this on a character who really Ashar does not want to be here. He has no desire to be a hero. He's not a warrior of light. In his mind, he's sort of, his job, his role as a protector of Ishgard. That's what he views himself as being, and so he's basically, kidnapped to the first, and to adapt it to his story, I've decided he can't go back to the source, so he's almost being held here against his will, essentially by the Exarch, who's like, it's almost like a trade. The Exarch has to sort of say, if you help us, I will find a way to send you home, but seeing as I can't send you home and you are the guy that we need, you're gonna have to help us. And that's basically the discussion he has. And so Ashad is he's a very unwilling participant throughout all of this. He has no desire to be here. I take a lot of joy in making a character go through terrible things when they're not. Like, of my characters, Maeve is very much along there for the ride, and Myron is, in some ways, sadder because Myron believes fully and without a doubt that she is the warrior of light, and she's like, I am the big damn hero and I've been chosen and I will save this world. But what that means is she will throw herself headlong into everything without thinking, whereas Ashard is almost the polar opposite. Ashard got through to the end of the end of the Dragon Song War and he was like, I'm done now, I don't want to do any more, I'm noping out this story, and fate and whatever else there may be in this world had other ideas for him. It just makes depressing things more depressing, if you ask me, to have a character who absolutely hates being there. Thank you, but it's too late. One of them have got me. If I turn, please kill me, I beg you. We hates it, Precious. We hates it so much. Hates the depressing music, and by hates it I mean really like it. Don't touch me. I killed her. I killed her. She was one of them, I know, but I'm gonna sneeze. 1 second. Pardon me. My t-shirt today is from the band Daughter, who are extremely good and make the best angst music out there. Except this song, which the shirt is from No Care, is almost like reverse angst music.
Oh, I did not see you there. Is there something you need?
Shouldn't you be resting? What would the guard do without their captain?
Appoint another. A captain's place is with her soldiers in the field. Don't pretend you're not of the same mind. You fought well today. Saved a great many lives. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Unfortunately, this war is far from over. We must replenish our ranks and shore up our defenses before they attack again. Now, if you will excuse me.
Me too. Me when I come out of the gig and I realise I've hyperextended my knee again.
I am fine. Completely and utterly fine. Better than fine. Hale and hearty and still alive to mourn those who are not. Who I failed to protect when they needed me most. We've come so far, so goddamn far. I could have sworn the end was in sight, and now they will never see it.
Impudent worms of the Castarium.
Didn't need to be so relatable, Luna. Didn't ask for this.
The tragedy that has befallen you is of your own making. Divine retribution for your defiance.
Eat shit, Valkyrie Van Dickwad.
To you, a benevolent savior, me. I offer you freedom from pain and suffering. A paradise where man and cedar might live in peace and harmony.
Makes me think a lot of the Gallian Empire. It's almost like Solus is a one-trick pony, right?
Our winged brothers and sisters regard me and mine as kin.
The idea of, we'll destroy you and basically join us or die.
But you not only reject my prophet hand, but raise your own against my senators. But it's only right that they respond in kind.
No, it didn't.
Let this be a lesson to all those wicked shall not inherit this world!
Slash slap. Both is the answer, E. That's how they're powering the hot air balloons, is it's just all of his hot air. Sorry, I keep biting my cuticles and it's a really bad habit and I shouldn't do it, and that won't stop me. Battleship is already gone. How flattering that he came all this way just to give his little speech. I apologise for my earlier outburst. Rest assured that I have no intention of allowing any of my wounds to affect the performance of my duties, especially not now. If I may, could I ask that you seek out Thancred and Mephilia for me? They endangered themselves on my behalf, and I'd feel better knowing that they're well looked after. Thancred in particular sustained quite an injury from that Sin Eater. I would not be surprised if he were in Spageric still. Please, give them my thanks. Am I going to teleport rather than running down? Absolutely. Lena's so good. Lena's such a wonderful character. I love her a lot. Certainly for Ashard, she's probably the most relatable character here, you know? Just thinking about Ardbert, as always, in Ashard in this, and how, you know, off camera they had a conversation, basically one of the first conversations when Ardbert came back, where he was like, I know you don't want to be here, I know you don't want to care for these people, I know you don't want to help them, but the fact remains that I have literally died to try and save my country, and you too. And Ashard's like, well, I guess. Probably went a lot more dramatic than that, but, you know, that's very, very appropriate, the sort of... Here for me? I'm sorry to put you to the trouble. I'm fine, really. The Eater landed an unfortunately solid blow, but the healers here have done wonders. I'm more worried about Memphilia. She's not taken it well. Could I ask you to speak with her? My attempts to reach out to her have had the opposite effect. She's gone off to the Hotorium, ostensibly to fetch herbs for Chesimil, but just talk to her, will you? Poor Dadcred. I know, we really do. I'm also intrigued because apparently the Viera are supposed to be sort of Norse or Scandinavian in terms of accent and stuff like that. But Lena's accent has always sounded more Spanish or Italian to me. Maybe that's just me, but I don't know. I also may, to be fair, have been completely making up the fact about them being Scandinavian. I solidly 110% stole that phrase from Stephen Fry, by the way. Memphilia appears to be lost in thought. Perhaps a gentle poke will get her attention. Poke, poke. Poke the air above Memphilia's head. Eek. Oh, Ashard, what are you doing here? Thancred. It's my fault, you know. I jumped at the chance to help Lena, but I was careless, and now it's my fault. Then you'll be wanting to get those herbs for the healers. Oh, what have I done? I promised I'd be right back, and yet here I am. I know that I need to be better. I'm only allowed to be a part of this because I'm in Philia, and I need to be more like her. All I do is make mistakes, put others in danger. But you're right, I can still help, if only by seeing these herbs safely to Chesimil. There are only 2 on the lift, but I'll need to ask about this one. I've looked high in there and I can't seem to find it anywhere. Would you mind collecting the other? I'd hate to delay any longer than I already have. You're looking for something with soft leaves that are very fragrant, and an unmistakably medicinal way, I was told. We only need 2 springs or so. Once you've got them, you can bring them directly to Chesimil. Whoever gets there first can explain the other will be back shortly. Thank you. I appreciate the help. Rena's also one of those who is so intensely relatable. It hurts. With the attitude of, I'm only allowed to be a part of this because of a certain thing, and if I don't do that good enough, then I'm kicked out, and I'm, you know, basically the attitude of not being good enough, and the attitude of being... How do I word this? Perceiving that there is something inherently not good enough about yourself, and then, you know, that people will always want a different version of you or a better version of you, or, you know, you're a temporary placeholder until, you know, the full person comes along, and regardless of whether or not that's the truth or whether that's you, like, interpreting, whether that's your interpretation of other people's emotions, boy howdy do I hate it so much. I asked someone who looked like they knew what they were doing, and they pointed me towards the herb I was looking for right away. I hope you didn't have too much trouble with yours. Things never change, eh? Well, that's how it be. I mean, Philia told me you'd be bringing the rest. Marvellous. With this, I can replenish our stores of medicine. We're struggling to keep up with the number of wounded that are being brought in. I wasn't on the field, but it doesn't matter. The patients' faces make plain that it was a horrible battle. And we're still fighting it, I suppose, though with bitter medicine rather than sharp steel. But we'll win, I promise you that. I don't think any of my characters would like each other, to be honest, so... It seems that I owe an apology for dragging you to yet another battlefield when you just come off the front lines. In both cases, I'm sure your efforts saved more than a few. With Spantrix in good working order, the Crystalium's people will be well cared for. More lie ahead, of course. Battles only you can fight. Not that we intend to let you do alone, but that's a matter to discuss with the Exarch. You know the Exarch? We do. Was there something you needed? I want you to tell him something, for me. My dearest friend, you see. He was there on the battlefield with me, but only one of us is here to speak of it. At the end, before the world killed him, I heard his dying words. I never knew that our world was this beautiful, he told me. I'm so glad I got to see the night sky. I don't know how Exarch feels about what happened out there. I don't know if what Valtteri said is true, if our losses were our just deserts and we doom ourselves to worse merely by continuing to fight this fight. But I believe in the Warrior of Darkness, and the Crystal Exarch. I don't think what they've done is wrong, and I don't think we are wrong to fight with them either. My friend, he smiled in the end, just as he smiled when he raised his glass to celebrate the return of the night. That's how I want to remember him. So I want to tell the Exarch, don't give up, don't give in, please. We'll tell him, you have my word. Sorry, I keep biting at my cuticles. This game really is just designed to tear at the heartstrings. Nice, level 77 get. Right, this reminded me I wanted to check a thing. There we go. Just about 150. Grants right and thrust ready if fanging clogs are executed following wheeling thrust or vice versa while adhering to directional requirements. And then ride and thrust is 330. Cool. If you're ready, why not go on ahead to the ocular? You can keep the Exarch company and we'll FFXIV know. Don't worry, I mean to borrow the swiftest tomorrow I can find, so we can shoot you along. Be sure to pass on that message, eh? Yeah. Well, whatever left of one there may be. I enjoy it. Love to have my heart broken by video games, that's what I always say. Business the Crystal Exarch? Yes, I do. The business is that my hands are incredibly dry and I am grumpy about it. Welcome, my friend. Tales of your heroes from the battlefield precede you, though I confess I found them more gladdening than surprising. I hear no few of our people have you to thank for plucking them from the jaws of death. Would that they had not needed saving to begin with, but the responsibility for that lies with me. One of our soldiers said that? Thank you. Rest assured that I fully intend to continue our work. I will not shrink from what must be done, now least of all. Though I mourn the lost, I will not lose myself to grief, and even should regret being my constant companion, I will follow the path I have chosen to its end. We have some time before the others arrive, if you'd like to talk. And if I were to confess any doubts I might harbour, no one ever need know. No, I believe you have enough burdens without my adding to them. Nevertheless, thank you. Voice cutscene time. One hopes, lads, I can put some nail oil on without having to click.
My friends, with your aid, we have weathered a brutal assault.
Sorry I'm late, though I would not have been had anyone thought to notify me in advance.
I thought it makes me laugh. What are we gonna do? Be like,
It was only with
oi,
your aid
Solus.
that this assault.
Solas.
Without it, the Crystarium and all who dwell here would now be gone. For each we saved, another perished. If there is anything else we can do to help, anything at all, you need only ask. This is our home too, and we want nothing more than to keep it safe. Thank you. We are blessed to have you with us. As for the attack itself, all three may call it divine retribution, but Sin Eaters are creatures of instinct. A coordinated assault is unprecedented. Moreover, in the absence of a Light Warden, there should have been no compulsion for lesser Sin Eaters to congregate here en masse. All of which points to a single, unavoidable conclusion.
That these minions of light answer to a higher power.
Every single one of these cutscenes, I'm just staring at Solus's shoulders because they just look wrong to me.
With them, who did boast of control, not in idleness, 'twould seem, but in earnest. Lord Vorthry.
Indeed. What I mistook for bluster was in fact the truth. The Sin Eaters are his to command. But if he imagines this show of force will convince us to bend the knee, he is sorely mistaken.
I take it your meeting in Yulmore did not end well.
You could say that, yes. But I am wiser for the experience nevertheless. It appears he has
Everyone's so
mastered a
small
technique
compared to
which
Ashad.
allows him to enslave the minds of others. A fact I discovered when he attempted to use it on me.
That would go some way towards explaining the peculiar reverence afforded him by his subjects. There may feasibly be a handful of true believers among them, I suppose, but it would not surprise me if the vast majority were in his thrall.
Had I not anticipated his treachery, I might well have joined them. But seeing his invitation for what it was, I sent a glamour in my stead. I rather doubt such tricks will avail me a second time, however.
Did you have any luck tracking down the Light Warden in Calusia?
Sadly, I have nothing to report on that front. What of Arm-Arang?
After a fruitless few days scouring ruins, I resorted to asking the locals. While no one I spoke to had seen any sign of the Warden, I did uncover a possible lead. An abandoned mine in western Arm-Arang. From what the Maud told me, it would be a perfect place to stay out of sight. Of course, I could never hope to explore such a labyrinth quickly or safely on my own, so I returned here.
Even should we all join in the endeavor, an exhaustive search could take weeks, and with no guarantee of finding anything.
The Wardens harbor vast reservoirs of primordial light, do they not? far beyond anything found in lesser sin-eaters. And isn't it true that the Oracle could see the light of a sin-eater from miles away? Surely a warden would seem like a blazing beacon by comparison. To the real Oracle of Light, I mean. The real Menphilia. If we travel to Armoreng, to the south where she halted the flood, I could summon her back.
Ring gives me the honey nut feels. Ring makes me sad.
Don't what? Do what I can. What we both know is right.
Do not presume to know my mind. You have no idea what you're proposing.
But I do. I know why you never said anything. Because you thought you could keep me safe by keeping me in the dark. And maybe I thought so too. But I knew, Thancred. I always knew.
Oh, I see. I thought you were a rather underwhelming reincarnation. But it all makes sense now. The Oracle lies dormant within you, doesn't she? But to draw on her true power, you must become one, both body and soul. To wit, one being must consume the other. Who shall be the lucky winner?
This doesn't concern you, Ascian.
Me too, Thancred.
But it plainly concerns you. Which is why your heart is ready to burst out of your chest. Despite the raging tempest in your bosom, however, you have never once opened up to your young charge. Now why would that be? Love. Well, I for one think it's a marvelous idea. Certainly more promising than any of your other suggestions. So, it's off to Armoreng we go.
I'll meet you at the gates.
I'm just enjoying the cutscene because it really does give me the honey nut feelios. But also because I was looking at Menphilia's outfit, and I figure she has to, so, if you're making a dress that has lots of cutouts, often what you will do is, rather than actually doing cutouts, because those can snag and break really easily, is you will just sew skin-coloured fabric to the non-skin coloured fabric. And so I was looking at Menphilia Reen's dress, and I figure it must be like that, because otherwise, A, she would get really weird sunburn, and B, it would be a bitch and a half to wear. Because, I mean, you can't see it behind her hair, but it looks like there's nothing on the back, which means her dress is just held up by the sleeves and then the neck thing, and that basically it's a real pain in the ass. I've made clothes like that before, and they are a headache to wear. Also, it would snag really easily, and yeah, she'd get really weird sunburns, so she must just have like skin-coloured cutouts. That's what I've decided, and we're going with it. Though Thancred hath long known whither this path doth lead, his journey hath brought him no closer to acceptance. Menphilia demonstrated impressive resolve just now. It seems that she understands what must be done, though I do wonder if she is truly prepared to make this choice. Should she falter, it will fall to Thancred to guide her, however much he wishes it was otherwise. If only been able to locate clues just like Warden, it might not have come to this. Can't imagine what Thancred must be feeling to behave this way. To say he's changed since coming here would be an understatement. He may as well be a different person. He reminds me of Father. You argued with us for months about a plan to go to Eorzea, but in the end he accepted our decision. I do hope he's doing well. If this is the course you agreed on, I will not object, though I'm afraid it will be difficult for us to spare any of the guard to accompany you. I can but promise you that it will be well looked after in your return. Just see that you do return, alright? You never grow tired of shuffling your feet. Zodiac is the creation of my people, first people. We summoned him as your kind might summon a primal, albeit an infinitely more powerful one. Unlike one of your primals, he tempered us. It was only natural. There is no resisting such power. So we Ascians came to exist solely to bring about the world of darkness. Here's darkness. Some call us evil for it. They'd be fools. That is only to be expected, given their innate inability to conceive of the nature of the universe. No need of suspicion. Even if I did, I assure you, you'd find it quite distinguishable from the truth. Sorry to be so insistent, but I know this is the only way. If you're willing to give me a chance, come with us. I'm not going to comment on Selch, because I will keep my thoughts inside my brain. Suffice it to say, I think he is a wonderful villain, and I fully disagree with him. Whatever his glorious conception of the past may be, it is a fact of life that we are one of the idiots who live in this world, and that's why we're going to save it. And he can eat a dick if he disagrees. And that's how I feel. And that's that. Yeah, also that. If he is tempered, he is absolutely biased. And if not, he's a dick, so, you know, swings and roundabouts. Friends. Love the floppy ears. It's so cute. I really do like seeing people walking around. It just makes me really happy. It makes feel the city feel lived in, you know? Sorry for the wait, I'm ready now. Are you sure you want to do this? Completely sure. Look, no matter what happens to me, I'm sure I don't want to go back to being who I was. I want to be stronger, strong enough to face my destiny, and I want to believe that I can play a part in saving this world. I hope you can find it in yourself to believe it too. When you put it that way, how could we not? It is your decision to make. Just be sure that you're prepared when the time comes. If all are assembled, shall we depart? We'll follow your lead. What route would you have us take? About that, there's something I neglected to mention. I saw you moored an airship coming into land over Armorang while I was on my way back to the Crystarium. No doubt the same vessel that bore Valtry's forces to Raktika. Meaning we can expect to encounter armed resistance on our journey through the region. Now, Nabatharang lies in the southern reaches of Armorang, and there are two routes we can take to get there. The first is the eastern route, which would lead us past Mordzug. The other is the western route, which required us to pass through the Hills of Amber. Minfilia and I took the eastern route last time. That's a more well-trodden path. It also makes for easier traversal than above Severance. But we can't use it. If we did, we need to cross the Severance from a point nearby the inn at Journey's Head. If Humans got wind of our approach, it could very well bring them in contact with the inn and its patients, and we can be sure their activities would not meet with Valtry's approval. It would make the journey more arduous, but I believe it'd be safer to take the western route, which brings me to my proposition. While you make for the Hills of Amber in the west, I will draw the Humor's attention elsewhere, to an area in the east that I know to be uninhabited. That way you'll have a chance at reaching Nabatharang unopposed and without risk to civilians. Cannot deny it's a sound plan, but nor can I allow you to go alone. My skills will make your task at least somewhat easier, will they not? I would accompany you as well. It would afford us a chance to have a proper conversation. And if I go with the others, I'm likely to say something Thancred will regret. Well then, we'll leave the work of distracting Catherie's forces to you. The rest of us will take the western route and try to avoid attracting attention. With that in mind, I think it best that we follow the road from the bridges. We'll move faster with a solid path under our feet. We'll borrow a few Amaro for the journey. I'll leave the rest to you, Minfilia. Thank you. I'll try not to disappoint you. Ah, good old Minfi. At least we got a proper party. I wonder if that... I was thinking, I wonder if that changes, like, depending on what class you're playing as, but it can't do, right? But then how do you do the trust to the later dungeon? We just don't know. Rena's so great. I love her a lot. She's a truly excellent character, even if she makes bad decisions. She's also very relatable. And she's extremely good. And that's that. With it, we all had the surety of purpose. We need to move quickly. Along with the others need to keep the Ulmorans caught. The more likely they are to be caught. The gate leading to Armoring is just up ahead. In all the time I've been here, I've never ventured to the hills of Amber. Not that I'm particularly intimidated by new lands at this point, but we have more than enough reason to be cautious as it is. Keep an eye on Minfilia for me, would you? I don't know that Arshad should be trusted to keep an eye on anyone, but... okay. Oh, I appear to be dropping frames again, I'm sorry. Battle so soon? If you're certain, I'm hardly in a position to question you.
Take comfort in the bonds you share. Accept the pain when the time comes to part. Press on, for joy and sorrow walk hand in hand. Beyond Mount Garik lie the hills of Amber, beneath which run hidden veins of mineral wealth. Or ran, at least. Mayhap they are spent. Or mayhap the ringing of hammers can yet be heard below.
I do. This music gives me chills. I also like to imagine Arshad like muttering, not Arshad, Jesus, Ardbert muttering in our ear as we walk through. He's walking alongside us and he's like, here's Ardbert's like tourist guide to this area. Sad though Mistress Alice's logic was, I fear the road less travelled have other pretzels in store for us. Okay. They're just so near? How convenient. The place has been scarred by the flood too. Who can say what lies ahead? Whatever else this mode may be, it is mine to travel, and I don't plan to take a moment of the time I spend upon it for granted. Time to start ruining the glamour. I take it you're seeing what I'm seeing? Finding a village one will hardly 10 paces into the hills is a surprising stroke of luck, especially given our recent fortunes, but you won't hear any complaints from me. Let's see if the folk who live it can tell us what to expect from the road ahead. Bad shit, no doubt. That's my guess. Worrisome things. Okay. I'm gonna go get this ether current. Because I'm addicted to ether currents. Don't attack me, meow. Don't attack me, meow. Uzz. Never mind. Ooh. There are a bunch of people over here taking part in the fate. But there is almost no point in me joining because I don't think I've unlocked fate. Don't think I've unlocked hunts yet, but yep. Oh no, they're doing it was a map. Oh well, they can all laugh at me, I suppose. A baby who accidentally tried to join in the map. Legs. Leggies. My foot went to sleep. You saw? No, you're no merchant. But then why do I know your face? Oh, I remember. You spent Verbert gold. That's me. Such a coin purse cracking. You are already a legend amongst more traders. You're a travelling merchant then. Can you tell us anything of this village? Of course, anything for your customers. This place is Garrick. Before the flood it was home to many miners. After, not so many. Now none. Samasik Yangan borrowed the village, made it into a trading post. Very convenient location. In which case, you all must be familiar with the local roads, correct? Whoops, I skipped that dialogue. Yes, great difficulty. Flood rent the stone and crushed the mines surrounding Nabatharang. Only steep cliffs and collapsed tunnels remain. Oh no. But surely there must be some sort of way. Do you think any of the other Mord might have some sort of hidden route? Perhaps. You ask, they tell. Tell for free even to friends of our best customer. Wonderful. Thank you for your help. Well then, best customer, let's see what your information, your reputation buys us. You're welcome, finger guns. Right. Continue south from here. We have any difficulty reaching it. That's the dialogue that I accidentally skipped. I love the funky little dudes. For Nabatharang, airship is best. Nothing's faster than airship. Your Morans have one, I hear. You can ask them to take you. Seems superfluous. You dutifully make note of Gongon's words. And, drop some frames in the meantime. Wish to go to Nabatharang. Was the way once. A gondola down from cliffs, but it's built for those who left something behind they wish to retrieve. Now there is nothing left and no one to use it. You may search for it if you like, but I doubt its rusted wires would bear your weight. My computer is running very hot. Concerning. It's because I've been playing video games all day, that's why. Those video games, huh? As I've taken to saying and now cannot stop. Whence the fuck is the last person for us to talk to? Like, well, surely they must be hiding behind a building, right? Because quite often that's the case. But no. what's not to be? Inside a building, maybe? Can I even get inside the buildings here? Smash cut. I can, and I'm stupid. Not many bad from the Bath ring these days. I do know of a trolley that once went there. It used to travel between all the settlements and mines of the hills of Amber. It is locked behind a gate, however. I assume that will have kept it from being stolen or damaged, but also prevents it from being of much use. Bring a piece of parchment before stuffing it unceremoniously back into your bag. I'm afraid I've learned a little of use about how to reach Nabaltha Ring. The Umoran presence, though, that's another matter. Apparently, though, the armour is definitely in armour rank. There have been no sightings of Umorans in the Hills of Amber. Perhaps we can take that as a sign that Alice's plan has borne fruit. Did you have any better luck? Potential death trap. Follow behind gate. Airshot's Umoran presence confirmed. Umorans confirmed! So those are options. Well, what do you think? I love this. Might die, but that's how it be sometimes. Does seem to be the least risky of our options, and I can't imagine one gate is enough to thwart you. I'd like to know a bit more before we dash off in search of it, though. Perhaps Zoom can offer some insight. Happy side quests. Oh, valued customers. Would the other mode of help? Other fashion. They told us of a trolley that runs to Nabaltha Ring, at least. But am I correct in thinking there was a reason you did not do so yourself when we first asked? Yes, the gate, you see, it is impassable. Before there was a hulking thing of stone, the Talos. It opened the gate, they say. But none operate such a thing now. I do not even know if it exists. I do not know, but you should travel east to Mount Buren Mines. That is where the trolley controls stand. I still see miners there from time to time. If anyone knows what happened to the Talos, it'd be them. Thank you. You've been a great help. We're off to Mount Buren then. Let's hope that someone there will be able to answer our questions. Thanks, Zoon. I am once again going to ignore all of these side quests in favour of pushing on with the story. At some point, I'm just going to be ranting out a bunch of shit for leveling, but God knows when that'll be. The scale of the track is impressive, I'll give them that. Now we only need to follow it until we come to the mines. Can we follow it until I am broken of my bad habits? Hi. Enjoy your hunt. Your treasure maps, rather. Okay. Oh, I should get my bow out. That's what I should do. That's the thing I forgot to do. I forgot to rename Ashard's chocobow. I decided I'm going to rename it Ashtoreth, which is the goddess that Secret World Legends Ashard worships. If I can name one of my characters' chocobos after my doggy, I can name another one after an ancient goddess, and it's fine. And it's not disrespectful, because in this world, she's not the goddess he worships. He's just like, this name is important to me somehow. Bit of a mess, isn't it? But the mechanisms for dispatching the trolley are here, just as Zoon said. Unfortunately, anyone who might know how to use them is not. We might wait for Zoon's mysterious miners to appear, or have a look around and see if we can deduce anything in their absence. I'm in favour of the latter. Something near the entrance to the mine's proper caught your inertia's eye. Meet us there if you find anything. Okay. Let's try and avoid getting into fights while we look around. Drop frames once more. Because Virgin Media can suck my wiggly dick. Slightly worn, a fair amount of tea, steeped over long if the colour is any indication, remains within. Flecks are rusted on the rails, but they nevertheless appear sturdy enough to bear the trolley without issue. So I just remembered to suck my wiggly dick, like, properly, and now I can't stop thinking about it. Just that wonderful vine. Right, I want to try something. If I hit true north, it does work. Dope. And then I've got Raiden thrust. Cool. What does Raiden thrust look like? Extremely cool is what it looks like. Will be good in dungeons. Especially the fact that it, like, restarts your, bench has been suggested must have been a passenger car. Oddly, though, enough that it's old, it appears to have been well maintained. I can maintain positionals. This will also encourage me to actually, get my dream positionals, because I'm very bad at remembering that I have them. And I'm even worse at remembering which is which. I'm so glad that you couldn't choose it with True North, though. Oh, me too. Ashard, what hast thou discerned? See, indeed thine observations are consistent with mine own. Let us refrain from further discussion ere our comrades arrive. Ample evidence of recent maintenance and lukewarm tea besides. The levis for switching tracks looks like they're in good condition, though I couldn't read them myself. No ordinary person could, I think. It is my belief that no person is meant to. This talos beareth more than a passing resemblance to golems of the source, nor doth it appear to be the sole example of its kind. Proliferation of talos fragments, as well as the enormity of the mechanisms here, suggests a considerable number were once employed. Alas, the specimen and its fellows now lie lifeless and broken, and I know not how to repair them that they might facilitate our passage through the gate. And without the aid of the talos, even if thou were somehow to unbar the trolley's path, we still would have no means of propelling it. We might not know how to repair the talos, but someone must. Otherwise, why keep everything else in working order? Whoever is maintaining it, that cars and rails must know something we don't. Let's ask them what it is, shall we? Ashad, I do believe you'll find a person of some interest skulking in the shadows behind the warehouses on the northwestern side of the tracks. While you two have a friendly chat, the rest of us will gently encourage those to the south to come out of hiding. Gently encourage, eh? Defend yourselves as a necessary course, but do try to keep everyone in one piece. Off we go then. Right. Bear with me, folks. I'm going to run a speed test to see if... Because... Virgin Media says there's not an issue, but I don't believe them. I'm also just going to run straight through here, because whatever. Ping is a whole 9. Wicked White, where did you come from? No, never mind that. You have no business here at that, I'm sure. Wanna do that, dude? What are you? Okay. Sorry, right, I'm just... Right. So what have I got? M100. So my download speed is about a third of what it should be, and my upload speed is about half of what it should be. It's not that my Wi-Fi is slow, it's that everything else is slow. Useless. Oh well, never mind. Move my mic back to where it was. We'll pick up with the story. I do apologise. I will personally strangle Virgin Media. I'm pretty certain my ISP is still having issues left over from when they were having issues the other day, or the other week. Good to hear. These two aren't much trouble either. Let's see what they have to say for themselves. Us? We're not brigands come to take what isn't ours. Do we honestly look like we need to steal? What, some rusted bits of iron? Don't be absurd. We're not here to rob you. A likely story. You look, well... Don't look normal, that's for fucking sure and certain. You don't have anywhere, so you're clearly not merchants. Travellers never pass this way. The only reason you come all the way out here is to strip the machinery for parts. Oh, Faith, I have an idea. What if once upon a time, A lovely lady of noble worth ventured forth in search of a lost love, joined by her two most soul servants, sworn to follow her until world's end. On the journey they met a sorcerer as ancient as time itself. Moved by the lady's devotion, he offered to be their guide, and they turned up here somehow. Can only assume you're being intentionally obtuse, but in the unlikely event this is serious conjecture. No, I suppose I'm a bodyguard of sort, but we have rather larger concerns than fairy tale romances. I would fain hear more of this ageless sorcerer and his heroic deeds. If I may, we're actually searching for a means by which to travel to Mertherang. We're hoping that the trolley here might offer a solution. I realise we haven't gotten off to the best of starts, but if you know anything about how we might get it working again... The trolley? The trolley? You should have led with that. We're always keen to discuss the trolley. We're both engineers in training, in fact. Jarek and Thuff, at your service. Technically, I'm a miner and he does repair work, but our true passion is the trolley. We're working with a few other folks to get it up and running again. And before you ask, yes, it's true there's little in need of transport these days. That's no reason not to consign a miracle of mechanical innovation to dust. Mere sight of it travelling the track once again would make hearts sore, mark my words. You'll hear no argument from us. What progress have you made thus far? Not as much as we'd like, truth be told. Whereas anything we could do to assist you, we could gather materials or help put pieces together. It's a slightly more complicated than that, I'm afraid. If you spoke with Magnus, he'd understand. He's the only one with full knowledge of the trolley's operation. I suppose you could speak with him if you'd like. We'll introduce you. Our options are limited, and if this Magnus can explain whatever is preventing the trolley from being restored, I'd like to hear it. Right, looks like you'll be following us back to Twine then. You know what this means? Ether rise, my true love. I can get to the dungeon today. That would be super sick. If you're ready, we can leave now. Though you haven't seen another fella around here, have you? I thought he'd have come out by now. You think he'll be alright? That's, well, I suppose we did force your hand a bit. I'll have a look just in case. You go on ahead, Thuff. Right, looks like it'll just be you, not me then. Try not to let anything take a bite out of you on the way out of the rail yard. They've already tried, and I already learned how to do the thing. Keep going south for ether currents. Do you have to thump me so hard? I'll be feeling that for the next fortnight at least. Not to be down about it now, though. I pointed your overly good companions in the right direction. They've gone on ahead, so we need to get moving. Normally we walk atop the tracks, but seeing as the young lady has a much shorter stride, it's a more perilous route than I'm comfortable suggesting. Wouldn't want anyone falling through the gaps. Of course, the lower presents other dangers, but having been on the receiving end of your friend's blows, I'm not worried on that account. Nevertheless, we shall take the high route, because I'm pretty certain there is... items. Ah. Watchers, I mysteriously managed to fall off a railway. Don't ask how I do it, I just do. Although that does remind me, so my dad had the absolute inability to walk in a straight line, which is something that he passed on to me. And my mum used to call it, like, the family disease was that we could be stone cold sober and you would, like, set us going and say walk forwards and inevitably we'd veer off to one side or the other. It's just, you could be walking next to someone and I will, like, accidentally quite often bump into them at least once, just because my feet always go like this, and that's why I fall off railway tracks. I think I hear something. Oh, that's something, alright. Run! Absolutely not. Fighting thrusters look really cool. Just as a complete aside. Southwest. Okay. We'll keep sneaking around here, trying to avoid getting hit by a thing. To the west, right? We'll do that in a bit. I want to just go grab this ether current first. Oh no, this is the one that's up there. Oh well, never mind. I've gotten a strand up, but nothing to do with it, so we're just gonna sit here on. Didn't expect the street to be quite so fraught with danger. Nearly to try though, so we'd make it there safely. Just sit here with Life of the Dragon floating, or you know, just doing its thing for a bit. First things first, your boy Much wants that ether current. There we go. We've got 3 more to connect out in the wild, but lots from missions, which is more concerning. Vroom vroom. Let's tune to this. And set it as our new home point. Oops. Here we go. A testament to man's resilience, that civilization may yet be found at the very edge of the world. I want to find a place like this occupied. Must have come dangerously close to being consumed by the flood. Town was small, but everything in it seems so purposeful. It's amazing. Here it is. Welcome to Twine. As we stand uncomfortably close. Original dwellings were built to house those labourers tasked with building the track. Over time, miners came to seek their fortunes, and that's what made the town grow to what you see before you today. But it was still the trolley that brought them here. As you doubtless noticed, the track goes to the very heart of the town. It was the heart of the town, back when the trolley still carried everyone home at the end of each hard day in the mines. Now there is no trolley, nor much work to be had in the mines for that matter. Only residents that remain are the destitute, the delusional, and those with nowhere else to go, or so they say. That should give you some indication of what to expect when you meet Magnus. As I said, it'll help you understand why we can't get the trolley running. Just don't expect too much aside from that. That's encouraging, but I don't see that we have much choice. Let's meet the man. Time to be depressed again. Who are you supposed to be? Never seen the three of you in my life. Or the four of you? Wicked White, if you're gonna bother me, at least have the damn courtesy to stand still. Methinks this one is deep in his cups. Thanks, Yuri-Ange, really pointing out the obvious here. These are my guests, Magnus. We ran into them at the mines. They're looking for a way to reach Nabarthreng, so they came to ask about the trolley, you see. What? There's nothing in Nabarthreng. Not anymore. And especially not for frail little girls. Give it up. No, we must reach Nabarthreng. I must. Bah, so you have your heart set on it. The world doesn't care. The place is a ruin, nothing more. And you're not getting them in the trolley. The thing doesn't run on hopes and dreams. We're not fools. It's necessity that drives us to Nabarthreng. If you insist that the trolley is not an option, at least tell us why. No, I'm sick of people asking me about the blasted thing. Leave me be. We'll speak outside. This game, this expansion rather, really is just sure is full of incredibly depressing characters. Be lying if I said, oh, here we go. Didn't expect that, but for what it's worth, I'm sorry. Stubborn ass. Since there is no more to this belligerent drunkenness tale. He only said that because he thinks I'm weak, and he's right. But I can't be. I won't be forever. There has to be some way. I must find it. I'm sorry, I was stuck in my own head again. It's clear that Magnus has no intention of helping us, but perhaps we should ask the other residents? They may know something of the trolley. I'll take the north side of town. Let me know if you learn anything. Thancred, art thou truly content to stand witness to fate's course and take no part? It isn't a matter of fate, Yuri-Ange. It's about choice, and I've had years to decide where I stand. Minfilia has spent too long in chains already. I would not shackle her again by making my hopes known. It is for her to choose what shape her destiny will take. It is for me to stay silent, to protect her, teach her, and stand by her. That, at least, I can do for her. So be it. Come, let us make our own inquiries. It's alright, Yuri-Ange. In a couple of expansions time, you and Thancred will, you'll both be dads together, raising two grumpy teenage girls, and you'll be like, There you are. Please know I got a friend back home with no trouble and just fine. He's a bit shaken up as all. And you? What did Magnus have to say? I did have a faint hope you need might prompt into action where our interest is not. I suppose that was foolish of me. Sorry that we couldn't be of help, though. I could at least show you the trolley car we have here if you like. Give it a stroke or two. It has some very smooth wood. Mean to say you're not giving up? Even knowing that Magnus is Magnus? Don't see much point in your being stubborn about it, though perhaps stubbornness is exactly what the situation calls for. Can't afford a line without an anvil, after all. Can't imagine that anything you try will work, but if you're certain, you can help me make preparations in the event that it does. To that end, take this toolbox. We're going to inspect the rails. I'll have a look on the tracks for anything that's needed repair. You bring the tools and be ready to hand them to me whenever I stop to work. We briefly drop some frames again. I actually think after stream I'm going to restart my router and see if that helps. I think it's just the upload speed, because actually no, that was a lie. I was playing Destiny earlier and I was trying to listen to some music on YouTube and it wasn't working at all. So maybe it's my download speed too. Well, restarting my router certainly can't help. Revealing a prouder way of loving maintained tools within. Can tell me what I need as I work. Well, this bolt is loose for one matter. Can't have that. I'll need to tighten it. Mid-sized wrench. Give me one moment and... I do appreciate these moments of levity. Let's continue along the tracks. I don't know, they make me happy in an odd way. The way of like, this is a terrible story, but here's this light moment where you help a guy repair some rails. I like that. I wish I could explain why, but I can't. It's different from the comedy, which I think is a sort of like the Yuri Andre being funny out of nowhere and suddenly like making, you know, dad jokes and shit like that. It's very quite handy to have around. Lamp there. It's necessary these days, but if we can do this, we might as well do it properly. If by some miracle the night returns as it did in Lakeland, well, it's a nice thought. This bit of post seems to have splintered. Whether its lamp is to be there or not, we wouldn't want these little pieces tapping there, especially when he comes through here to do maintenance. I'll need to sand it down a bit. Rough file. I don't know, what I'm trying to say in failing is that I think it's a good way of like it's a good way of breaking up. Bring some varnish along next time to finish the job. I started taking the view of the tracks for a bit longer. It's breathtaking, I know. Little breaths of fresh air in between story punches. Mining has always been the primary vocation of the folks in the hills around BC. After a certain point, they dug up everything that could be easily reached and carried back by manpower alone. It was then that Nabath Empire struck upon the idea of the Talos, which they'd seen at work abroad. At great expense, the Nabath brought the Mistel engineers who specialised in the Talos here to the hills, and wouldn't you know it, the mining industry picked right up again. Twine itself sprung up around that time, as a matter of fact. It was named after the entwining of Tails, the fruitful cooperation between the native Ronso and the newly come Mistel. Sorry, I keep leaning forward awkwardly. Like so much fell apart in the wake of the flood. The Mistel left, taking the knowledge with them. 15 years ago, the last of them, the folks from Breedless Stoneworks, took off Yulmore, and now no one remains that can repair and operate the Talos. There's no use in lamenting what can't be changed, and there's one more thing we need to do while we're out here, so we may as well get to it. Vultures occasionally make their nest on the tracks you see, and it falls to us to remove them when they do. Creatures, pardon me, are angry when disturbed, which is natural, but nevertheless a danger to anyone passing by. Not my favourite task, to be honest with you. As you may have noticed, I'm not terribly suited to confrontation. That said, would you follow the tracks north and remove any nests you find for me? I'll keep an eye on things from here. Yes, I will go beat up some birds for you. I'm good at that sort of thing. I'm also good at accidentally, like, falling through the floor. You know. That is just how it be. There we go. Keep wandering to the east. Pick up the next ether current. Eventually. Yes, good girl. I also really do like the run that we do with our spear. There we go. I'm guessing I'll have to go that way eventually anyway. Ah! Plop. So, do that later. I knew that was going to happen eventually. Just surprised that it took this long, no? Nice. Ooh, I do like that. I think my shard is best suited to either bright or dark colours, not purples and reds. That just clashes with his skin tone. Something like that. I mean, it looks dumb, but at the same time, it suits him, you know? I just feel like this orangey colour doesn't suit him at all. And back to the crystarium and repair it before we, Thank you. That should be everything taken care of. In return for your help, I'll tell you a bit more about the trolley. Nothing that can get it started again, though. As I said, the only people who knew how to repair the Talos are long gone. When they left, the life began to bleed out the town. Trolley's tracks rusted and its cars fell into disrepair. Now, I was born in Twine, raised there. My first word was trolley, damn it. And those were the worst years of my life. But then, about 7 years passed, Magnus and his wife returned to us. Magnus is a real proper trolley engineer. Perhaps he would never have left in the first place if it hadn't been for a son. As you're well aware, Armorang is hardly the safest place, and Magnus wanted his child to grow up away from its dangers. It didn't help in the end. The Seniors got the boy. Isn't that always the way? Child had always said that someday he wanted to see Magnus' trolley running again, so in his memory, they returned to Twine, started fixing those rusted rails and broken cars, and it was going well for a time. Wicked White vultures? They back for revenge? Never mind, I don't want to find out. But then his wife and child got fridged. And we're in for yet more man pain. That's the TLDR of what happened. I mean, it is super depressing, but at the same time, it's like, you can call it what it is, you know. You can just say his wife and child got fridged and that's it. Nice work out there. Now you know the story of the trolley. Won't do you much good without the Talos though. If there was even a single one that still functioned, things might be different, but, well, here we are. I do love these odd chin guards. Not that it'll do you any good, but we do have a Talos we've been meaning to repair. I can show you if you'd like. Certainly be nice to hear something from something other than Magnus griping for a change. Also, unlock quest. Unlock quest. My poor friends, left to beat by hobbies. Feel terrible at running away. What choice I have? No point in us all being killed. Saying someone to go and retrieve the bodies, I mean, rescue them would have told me the blame. Yes, yes. If you could go to the ruins of Culk to look for 2 more scavengers, I would be very grateful. Let's go wander over this way, and at the same time, go see if we can grab a an ether current. I think it'll be over here by Old Lady's feet. One of the oddest, oh, I love them. I love Gigantendlers. Yeah, they're so good. Fair, I tell thee, fair. I wonder if you can make this jump. Or I should say rather if one can. Because it sure should tempt me, right? Let's go rescue some of these guys. I'm gonna turn this down slightly. Up you bop. Come on, up, 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 up. Up, 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 up. Can it be true? The youngest of the group is still missing. Please, you must find him. I'll wait for you outside the ruins in case you need help carrying whatever is left of the poor boy. So, I solidly read that as Keck every time, and every time it makes me cringe. I'm gonna spend the rest of my life wasting True Norths on not having to hit those positionals. Just being able to enjoy the fact that Ride and Thrust looks so cool. Up you pop. Does that count as a near-death experience? I cannot wait to tell my friends. First, we should make a hasty retreat. Yes, yes. Don't know why I'm giving them Namasi voices, but yes, yes, it is. Cannot thank you enough for saving us. How do you know we were here? Running away turned out to be the best choice. Not only did he escape, but he sent for help too. If he tried to rescue himself, we'd probably all be dead by now. Better try and scavenge another day, yes? Must remember to thank him. Nice. Thanks. Now we're going to run up very slowly because we are still in combat, and those fucking evil weapons, man. Such a ridiculous mob. I'm gonna see if I can get to the dragging tail. Oh, lady's feet. I don't think I can, but you never know, right? Oh, piss off. Don't get handsy. Waggles eyebrows very dramatically. I can't even find it in here, and then I just walk into the ocean instead. Aha, here it is. Just in time for me to fall back into Mordzuk. Nice, only 2 left out in the world to get though. Okay, now we will do / return. There we go. Ouch. My poor knees. Quack. Poke, 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 poke. Ashad looks at it and goes, "Yep, that sure is a Talos." Truly a most vexing state of affairs. I thought mayhap a closer examination might yield something of value. I see. The means to build Talos stone by stone are lost to us, 'tis true, but here before us slumps a most fine specimen. Indeed, were it not for a few minor failings, it would be in working condition. 'Twill likely require naught but a few modest repairs and a suffusion of ether. Well, if you think you'd get the thing up and running, far be it from me to stop you. But what exactly do you reckon is the problem? I should stress that I performed only the most cursory of exams, examinations, though such arcane constructs are not wholly unfamiliar to me. As I do suspect from the first, it is a host to a network of veins through which ether floweth freely. Or so it would, were it not for several fractures which now impede said flow. How in the hell did you get all that from just a glance? Take it you've thought up a solution as well, then? To bridge these fissures require a material highly conducive to ether. Once in place, I believe it would be possible to restore the Talos to life. Might it prevail upon thee to acquire that which we require? Not far beyond the walls of Twine dwelleth a creature of living stone, the Debitage. Full sure am I that stone from such a being would prove most suitable to our needs. Man, if I knew that, I would have got one from all the ones that beat me up. 3 obstructions, and thus I'd ask you to provide 3 stones to the Debitage. All else will be made ready upon my return. There we go, I've appeared again. I've decided I'm going to call this stream on YouTube Fun in the Sun brackets Blasted Desert. Yeet. Fine. One more Debitage. Fun in the Sun, Blasted Desert, or Mochi learned a new thing about Dragoon. $78. Dragon Life, the dragon will default to 30, which will be good. Make life a lot easier. Thancred and Minfilia will return along with the remaining supplies required. Didst thou succeed in procuring stone from the Debitage? A chunk of rock taken from a Debitage rock. Fine specimens, one and all. You have my thanks. We need now but wait for Thancred and Minfilia's return. From end to end, the paths by which Ether may flow through the Talos have been duly mended. They but require sufficient endowment. It's not moving. Strange. The core refuseth to stir. I fear the condition of this Talos is more dire than I previously surmised. As a heart driveth blood through the man's veins, so doth the core ether through this massive frame. Failing its repair or replacement, the Talos cannot be restored. So it was the heart after all. Thou didst foresee this outcome? Not exactly. We'd never gotten this far in trying to repair it, so we had no way of knowing the heart was the real problem. We tried to find another in case things turned out as they are now, but... Jarek? This isn't really my story to share. Please, Jarek. If something went wrong, maybe we can help. Right. After all you lot have done for me, I suppose it's the least I can do. My efforts were not for naught. As we come to regret his next decision. Talos, the hearts cannot be made of just any stone. Need a special sort with sufficient ethereal conductivity. Both it and the other materials used in the construction of the Talos bodies are mined in the same place. That place, of course, being here, the Hills of Amber. And it was 3 years ago when he... No, I can't. I'm sorry. But you'll have to hear it from Thatfay or someone else. Back to the tavern, then. I don't know, I can appreciate a man who won't reveal other people's sob stories without their persimmons. Still here, eh? You can ask again, but the answer's the same. A trolley's art. What? God damn it, Jarek. You could have at least finished so I wouldn't have to clean up your mess. Seeing how you made such quick progress to fix the Talos and all, he was probably thinking you could help change things around here. And I think he may be right. Gather your friends and I'll tell you what you want to know. I keep sitting in dumb ways and hurting my knee because of it.
Magnus's wife was a miner, you know. Greatest prospector there ever was. When the golem heart started failing, she was the first to head out in search of more. Problem was, most of the veins ran dry ages ago, and finding fresh ones to tap's only gotten harder. But she wasn't one to be deterred. She just kept digging deeper and deeper. And then the mine collapsed.
The North Yorkshire story.
To clear away the rubble, but it took us 2 months to find her. To find her body. Magnus has never been the same since.
Where is he, if you don't mind my asking?
Ah, yes, well, if he's not here, there's only one other
I had to
place
Google a
be.
thing quickly. Me too, buddy. After I go to the supermarket, I might buy myself a bottle of wine while I'm there.
You again. How many times must I tell you? The trolley won't run! We'd be better off dismantling the damn thing and selling the parts for scrap. Now, piss off back to wherever you came from. Don't let me catch you around here again.
Hey.
What were their names?
My son was named Skuli. My wife, Agna.
Good names.
Being here with them, it beats going home. Home stopped being home when I lost them. I thought to try and drown my sorrows, but somehow the bottle's never deep enough.
Fancy though, ain't no screw top wine.
Believe me, I know.
You've lost someone too.
Sorry, I'm getting distracted here.
Not my own flesh and blood.
Thancred's leather shirt has a belly button
So I
hole.
never really knew what family meant.
I just want you guys all to know that it's got a spot for his belly button.
Not until I met a man who offered to take me in and make me his pupil. He was a kindly soul, always looking out for me, like a father. Not that I appreciated that at the time, or anything else for that matter. But I finally had a family. And then I robbed a young girl of hers. I did my best to make amends, to offer her comfort. But the more I look back on it, the more I realize just how inadequate my efforts were. I let her down. That is why I refuse to let her legacy die. In the end, all we can do is press on. For those we have lost.
And in the hot seat
For those we can yet save.
for emotional revelations today is...
And that requires your Talos. Please, Magnus. You are our only hope of reaching Nabarth Areng.
What rubbish.
She's not gone. No matter what you say or believe, she's not. We can still bring her back.
Reen. God, throughout this whole story, I just want to hug Reen and say, "You're enough." Not a lesser version of anyone else. No one's just using you as a temporary replacement until the best version comes along. You are enough, Reen. And today, an over-empathizing with characters is me. Why must you always treat me like this? Full well do I know the pain of loss and how heavily it can weigh on one's heart. Nevertheless, there is but one way forward. We must need to procure a new heart for the Talos. Thus, now is the only location where we might find the stone we require. No matter how scant the possibility, we would seize it. I told you near all the veins were tapped dry years ago, though I suppose if you really wanted to try, you may certainly find something at Nuvia's leavings. It was open well before the Talos became commonplace, which is why the mining there was never quite as deep. When you get there, look for Guthron John and tell him I sent you, but don't be surprised if he tells you the same thing. Thine assistance is most appreciated. Ashard, I think it is best Thank could join thee in the search, though he would be quick to deny it. His heart's in turmoil and his thoughts clouded. 'Twould be unwise to ignore his distress. That is sure as shit would. Nice standing over here being broody, dude. Off to somewhere, are you? At last, to lead on the stone we need to power the Talos. Can't very well have you go on your own. Lead the way. I say we're long overdue for a good turn. Can only hope the gods feel the same way. Now, Nuvia's leavings was the south, was it? Let's get going. Ugh. Ugh. You seen Charmlake's pool? Found it amongst the stones brought from the mine. A lot of the workers wear these for good luck, and I expect to have lost us wondering when. First time I seen one made from cat's eye, so the owners should be hard to track down. I go and look for them myself, but I've got too much to do here. Would you be able to go in my place? Graveyard Keeper is quite knowledgeable about charms and whatnot, so it might be worth asking him. We'll do this quickly. Once we do this, we've only got 2 more unlock quests to do, so. What have you there? Precious stone as cat's eye, rather natural feline animal, which would be a poor choice for a variety of reasons. God, I'm truly in love with the localization team. Once used towards of misfortune, tradition began with the Church of the First Light, and the gem represents their patron deity. Even though no one follows that old religion anymore, some of its customs remain, especially amongst the miners. Don't see many of this exquisite though. Seem to remember the fellow with an eye patch kept a similar charm around his neck. Might even be the same one. Never caught his name, but he's not hard to miss. Last I saw of him, he was leaving to mine Nuvia's leavings with some of the others. How convenient that both of our quests should take us down to Nuvia's leavings. Not sure how far along we're gonna get tonight. I'm sitting at 11, so. Just demonstrating that I can't type, it's okay. Never mind, it's way further southward. Westward. So we'll get those another time. Leave me alone, meow! Oh, didn't notice you there. What do you want? Ah, fuck off. It's on my arse. Here we go. Where'd you get this? Gods, how could I have been so careless? There's all my sister left behind before she... Look, I'd rather not talk about it, but I appreciate bringing this back to me. It means a lot. Nice. You're very close. The way you described it, I was expecting the place to be abandoned. Perhaps our fortunes are finally improving. We should probably hear what Guchon has to say before we celebrate, assuming we can find him, that is. Sorry for the Discord ping in the background there. Hopefully that will help. And with apologies if you are watching this and hear a Discord bidoop and go, what? It's me. It's my Discord. As I have now decided to start calling it, seeing as we have a discourse, now we can have the Discord. Don't tell us everywhere. Who are you and what are you doing here? What's up? My name is Morgan. You should have listened to Thuff. You're wasting your time. But the site is not as developed as the others, is it not? Surely there must be something left. I should explain. The stone you're looking for is leonine. All the Talos on the hills of Amber are powered using them. Or were at least. Anyway, whatever's left, if anything, is too far below to be safely excavated. In the deepest reaches of the mine, we use Talos to keep the pathways from collapsing. They're still there, but they could give out at any time, which is why much of the mine is closed off. There are only options to search the high levels for any fragments of leonine that may have been overlooked. I suppose there may be one other way. Well, don't leave us in suspense. What you're asking for is a trade secret. I'll need to be duly compensated in exchange. Fine, what do you want? The other day I found a vervet gold piece down in the mines. Bloody verbate gold piece. And wouldn't you know it, I dropped the damn thing somewhere while I was working. Find it, and I'll tell you what you want to know. You drive a hard bargain, sir, but we'll take it. Seems you have a work cut out for us, Ashard. Thankfully, I have an idea of how we might hurry things along. So you know, despite the first efforts to illuminate corridors, rather dark in here, I mean it will be that much harder to find a single coin hiding in the shadows. So I propose we use these, sun drops. They help the eye take in more light. Why don't you start your search further on and I handle this area here. I'll retrace your steps after in case you happen to miss it. If you feel the drops' effects wearing off, I can give you more, so don't worry about it. Able to see with little illumination. Nothing. Wiggle around, hope not to get attacked. Enjoy the really cool music. I really shouldn't try to hum along, it won't work. Turn over a rock and find the verbate gold. Oops, and then you hit the wrong button like a fool. Oh well. True North will come back to me soon. How on earth do you work in a place that's like full of golems causing issues? I ask thee, for real? Hoping you dropped the copy somewhere close to the entrance. More fool for me thinking Ladybug was on our side. Maybe she is. Yours at least. In the end, my contribution was little more than poor company. Well, I couldn't have done it without your sun drops. So you say, but you've proven that for success regardless of circumstance. Not very much I could have discovered unassisted. Only managed to survive the Querthan wilderness in the Imperial capital by virtue of extensive preparation. Habit mine since childhood, and one of my few positive traits which endeared me to Louisville, I imagine. Hasn't been easy finding ways to compensate for my condition. Every tool and trinket has proven vital to my continued success, such as it is. Had I chosen to pursue the arcane arts rather than espionage? Well, I'd rather not think on it. So long as I have the means to protect those dear to me and to see my duties through, that's all that matters. Let's hurry and see that return to Guthjon. The faster we get back to Mjolnir and Amphilia, the better. You're back. Wait, does that mean... Here's your fucking coin. Be damned, you actually found it. Deal's a deal, but don't think this means you'll find what you're after. To be honest, I wasn't sure you could pull it off, but you did, and I'm a man of my word. Come with me. The reason I keep scratching my head, I don't know if you can see this particularly well on camera, the, like, fabric-y, not fabric, but, you know, they're like plasticky bits covering the top of my headphones are coming off, which means that I get, like, little flecks of blue rubber in my hair sometimes, and it gets really itchy. Also means blue rubber all over the floor, which is incredibly annoying. Every time I step out those mice, the sky seems to get brighter. I'd never leave them if the air wasn't so stale. But you've not come to hear my grievances. You're after the inine. First, I have to ask, you ever heard of rockworms? I know them by another name, though I'm fairly certain the locals call them knockers. Aye, that they do. Whatever you want to call them, those little bastards may be the answer to your troubles. They can fit through cracks and crevices down where we could never hope to reach, and on occasion they come back with something valuable. They dig up leonine in the mines? It's a rare occurrence, but yes. That said, it usually amounts to no more than a few flakes. Well, our only other option sounds tantamount to suicide. So how can we draw out these rockworms? With that track, you'll find a bag full of smoke bombs. Set a few off in the mines and you'll flush them out in no time. Once they're out in the open, knock them senseless and check their backs. Should warn you, this method of mining, if you can even call it that, is used as a last resort on account of what little they like to bring back. You want to cover as much ground as you can if you hope to find anything of value. Assuming you do find something, bring it here and I'll have a look. We should fit up with cover more ground as he suggests. If you can cover these 3 areas on your map, I'll see to the parts between them. Whoops, here we go. I think we'll do this bit and then I think that'll be it for the night, I believe. It is a very pretty staff. It's just unfortunate that it's ruining my hashtag aesthetic. Mind you, wearing full armor out in the desert is objectively a terrible idea, but that's never stopped me before. I believe only in terrible ideas that only I'm capable of. Okay. Here we go. Whoa, leave me alone. Meow meow. I got distracted and was looking at my inventory. Meow. As is so often the case with me. Wrong way, whoops. Can't remember what I was looking for, so I'll find out another time. To be honest, I'm probably gonna keep our shard's title as the Dragon Song always. Time to beat some knockers up. Get knocked up, some may say. They shouldn't do, but they might. Nice. What the fuck's the other rubble in here? Get out there, Bo. Come with me. Stop that shit. Oh, these fucking golems, am I right? Or am I right? Don't aggro onto me, meow. It would make me very sad. Meow. Keep scooching on out. Don't attack me, meow. I am small and I don't need to get here. Clicks on self rather than doing anything sensible. Wrong button. I like the sound it makes when I parry stuff, that like thonk. Very satisfying. Great. 2 more glittering rocks. Onwards. Last set of glittering rocks. Here we go. Ah. I wanted to keep the, so that, when I'm streaming I don't get the Discord beeps, but I do get the sounds of people joining and leaving chat. And I seem to be not allowed. Right, let's go hand this in, and that'll do us for the night. There you are. Find anything promising? Between the two of you, I'd say you got quite the haul. Best get comfortable, friends. It's going to take time for me to sift through all this. I love Discord.
You may not remember this about Arminfilia, but prior to founding the Path of the 12, long before the Scions, she was something of a miner.
Mine, not mine or.
After her father died, Flamine took her in and taught her the trade. I think they were both seeking to fill the void left by a loved one. Maybe that's why she took to it so readily. Back in those days, I spent most of my time in the Quicksand, or some other tavern, loosening tongues and gathering secrets. Occasionally, I'd catch a glimpse of her in the street, on her way home after another hard day's work. I always felt a wave of relief when I saw she'd come back safe, along with a pang of guilt at the fact I wasn't there to support her as I should have been. Simply speaking with her more than once in a blue moon would have been a good start, but I could never bring myself to do it. Instead, I threw myself into...
Ah, shit, sorry, I didn't mean to skip the dialogue there. You threw himself into work. Not your finest hour, to say the least. I was trying to tab back into the game and click past the dialogue like a fool.
And Flamine has never let me live it down. But that was a lifetime ago. Here and now, I have another chance to do things right, and I will not squander it again.
Hey, come and see what I found. You're not going to believe this.
Tell me it's Leonine.
It is at that. You lot were born lucky. It's mostly broken pieces. But look at this.
Try my hardest. A hefty chunk.
This is a rather fine specimen.
It's been decades since we found anything approaching this big. But that's not all. There's an engraving on it.
Ah, these scratches here. They're a little hard to make out. To my beloved Magnus and Schoolie.
Dun dun dun.
Yes! Do you see? It was a gift to Magnus from his wife. She found it. She really found it. She must have spent her final hours carving this message into the stone, in the hope that he might see it one day. Those rock-backed bastards must have made off with it before we could clear a path to her.
Well, that is incredibly depressing.
Fate that brought you here to find this stone. No other explanation. It makes me wonder what else might still be buried in these parts.
If there's a thing that you don't want to think about, it's a mine collapsing and then being trapped in it. Always wine red dye. Even if it doesn't match our shard skin, always wine red dye. Well, folks, that is going to do it for us for today. I'm gonna say thank you very much for watching. It is very much appreciated, and I do hope that you enjoyed. I will be streaming Higurashi When They Cry, Tatari Goroshi, this Thursday, where things start to go bad and they can only go worse, I have no doubt. Then on Saturday it'll be Dishonored 2, where we will be investigating the Adamai Institute. Then on Sunday it will be Destiny 2, where we shall be pushing on with the Black Forge. I've unlocked a few other things, so we're going to be pushing on with all of those, really. And then finally, next Tuesday, it'll be more Final Fantasy XIV, where we shall be continuing our wanderings in Armorang. But for now, I'm going to say thank you very much for watching. It is, of course, very much appreciated, and I do hope that you guys have a wonderful evening. Do look after yourselves. What other trite, meaningless message can I put in here? Be excellent to each other. I actually quite like that as a phrase, but I also find it a little bit trite sometimes. Anyway, what I mean to say is take care, do have a good evening, and I shall see you guys on Thursday.